Time now for today's fact-checking segment, Truth or Fake, for which I'm joined by James Creedon. James,
hi, Tom.
Works in association with the France 24 Observers. James, your first story takes us to Quebec, notably to Walmart stores. That's the supermarket chain, because apparently they've got different rules for vaccinated and non-vaccinated clients. But there is some fake news in the mix. Tell us
That's
more.
right. This is all due to Quebec's quite hardline approach to vaccine passports. They've gone the same direction as France in terms of, I suppose, the vaccinated not being allowed access to certain venues, such as supermarkets or Walmart stores in this particular instance. So there's been a lot of bad buzz about that, a lot of controversy about that, a lot of disagreement about that on social media. And here is just a little flavour of some of the misinformation that's been going around. So Quebec, this is of course in French, boycott Walmart, these special chambers for the uninjected. So I suppose people here speaking in very much vaccine hesitant / anti-vax kind of language. This is a disgrace. This is what is happening now to people who have not been vaccinated if they try to get into Walmart. So what was being suggested here is that you had these sort of chambers, you can see them there, that would be, that unvaccinated people would be forced to wait in if they perhaps were accompanying somebody else. Now, that tweet was picked up elsewhere. Walmart stores in Quebec now require those who do not provide proof of vaccination to wait to be escorted to the pharmacy by an associate. This is cruel and humiliating treatment. It is time to boycott. Is it time to boycott Walmart? Now, that's a half-truth because, in fact, unlike in Europe, where mostly, or here in France, you have separate pharmacies, what you often have in places like Canada or in Walmart, you have a pharmacy aisle in the supermarket. And so they're not preventing people from being able to access the pharmacy, but you do have to be accompanied by an employee of the store. Now, what Walmart were quick to point out in the comment section of this tweet is that those quote-unquote chambers are actually for staff who are implementing the vaccine passports at the store. So it's for staff, it's not for customers. So that's where the confusion sort of came about. And I suppose where the reason it became such a story and with such a degree of fact-checking was one of the major political parties, the Quebecois Conservative Party, picked up on this and put it up on their official social media accounts. They even put up videos where they went to try to get into Walmart to show that there is some sort of different treatment of the unvaccinated. But in the end, those videos were taken down because, in fact, the claim that these chambers were to isolate unvaccinated was bogus. So again, it's a case of confusion in the context of real measures being brought in. This is on Radio Canada just earlier this week. The vaccine passport in department stores and in big shopping markets is being introduced. And there was even another measure actually being brought in. You can't get into an off license, or you won't be able to buy alcohol or medicinal or recreational cannabis where it's legally sold. They will not be sold, or people won't be allowed access into those sort of stores without a vaccine pass. So in the context of those quite ambitious measures, shall we call them, I think it's easy for fake details like that to get through the web and for people to kind of believe in them. And then you could see people boycotting Walmart as a result. Yeah,
hard to imagine lots of people standing in those little cubicles in Walmart doing nothing for long periods of time.
And it's also unnecessary. I mean, if they're not allowed in, you just refuse access to the store.
Exactly. Yeah. Very odd, but never mind. Let's move on. An image circulating online claims to show satellite images of Russian troops along the border with Ukraine, and they supposedly have a coded message for Joe Biden, the US president.
Now, we'll remember the whole let's go Brandon meme rather. Well, what was it? Maybe you could say it was mean as well, but it was, without going into all the details of that, it became a sort of a slogan, a coded insult for Joe Biden, if you like, because this was the misinterpreted version of what was being said or chanted by a crowd at a sports event, and it was F Joe Biden. So wherever you see let's go, Let's go, Brandon. It's code for insulting the US president. And so what you see here is claims of a satellite image showing a Russian buildup along the Ukrainian border. Of course, we know that there is a very real buildup of Russian troops along the Ukrainian border. But, it is pretty improbable that they would go to those sort of lengths to needle the US in a situation of certainly tension between the two. But it got picked up. It was worth pointing out that was a satirical account. This guy up here, if you look at his profile, meme making, and probably shouldn't have showed that for too long, but tips appreciated but not required. This is essentially a satirical account. It was picked up as fact. This is one of the other ways in which fake news gets circulated. It's simply intended in the beginning to be a joke, and then people sort of naively share it as fact. And that is the actual original piece of satellite footage there. New satellite images showing the extent of the Russian buildup along the Ukrainian border, and there
doesn't spell anything, does it?
You can see how people might have been inspired to sort of form letters out of it, because in some cases up there around the top, you could, if you were very imaginative, you could kind of maybe try to make letters out of it. But in fact, there were no letters in the original images at all. Mm-hmm. And there's quite a lot of other content online showing satellite images of that nature. So the troop buildup, sadly, all too real right now along the Ukrainian border, but not going so far as to joke in sort of coded internet memes or whatnot about Joe Biden.
Okay, well, the Russians wouldn't have forgotten the apostrophe on let's anyway. They'd have just put one more car there to make it let's.
If you're going to do it right.
Exactly. Thank you, James Creedon. That was today's edition of Truth or Fake. Time now for Focus. Today